Hello and welcome to this practice. Thank you for joining me. Today we are going to focus on calm. So if you would like to get a yoga block or a cushion just to support your practice, feel free to have that close at hand. Otherwise, just roll out your yoga mat, find a comfortable space to practice in, put on something really comfortable today, and let's find a little bit of calm. Alrighty, so we are going to start lying down in a reverse child's pose position. So bringing your knees in close, so tucking them into your chest. Maybe finding a little bit of movement here at the beginning of the practice just to help you to settle into the shape. And then we can come to center and find a little bit of comfort here. So we want the tailbone to lengthen down towards the mat. Let your shoulders soften and relax. And you can either just keep holding onto your knees with your hands. If you need a bit more space between your knees to be more comfortable, you can bring them close together. Find what works here. You can even interlace your fingers and just clasp your hands here over your legs or over your shins to create a bit of a brace, just to keep yourself in position here a little bit more comfortably. And then let yourself land in this shape. Feel where the back of your body rests on your mat. And maybe just notice if there's anything going on around you, in the space around you, maybe some noises, the things that draw your attention. Allow everything to be as it is. And then let yourself and your body start to soften. Let your face soften, release the hinge of your jaw. Feel your throat soften, your legs, any tension in your hips and your abdomen. And then become aware of the breath that moves in and out through your nose. And as you follow this breath, starting to soften a little bit more into the shape, and becoming comfortable with the movement of your breath, see if you can start to draw the breath towards your navel. So just extending a little bit into the belly, and see if you can even breathe towards the upper legs. Okay, let's take one more cycle of breath here. Deep breath in. And then a long exhalation. Okay, good. Then bring both your hands onto your right knee. And you can either bring your left foot down onto the mat, keeping the knee bent, or you can straighten the leg out along the mat, whichever feels best here for you. So moving gently and mindfully, inhale. And then exhale, lift your head and your shoulders, bring your nose towards your right knee. So just gently hugging and squeezing that knee in a little bit closer. And then inhale to relax your head down. And exhale. Staying on the same side, deep breath in. Exhale, lift up nose to knee. Relax your shoulders. Inhale, release your head down. And then exhale to soften and let go. Good, one more round, inhale. Exhale to lift. Maybe it feels a little bit more comfortable now, the knee coming in a little closer. Inhale to relax your head. And exhale. Good, bring your left knee back in towards you, and then we're going to swap. So holding onto your left knee, you can either bring your right foot down onto the mat or extend the leg along the mat. Just let that leg completely relax. Okay, feel into the shape on this side. Deep breath in. Exhale, lift up. Bring your nose towards your knee. No forcing, just allowing however far this side goes. Inhale to relax your head down. And exhale. Deep breath in. Exhale, lift up, nose to knee. Notice any impatience that may creep in. Inhale, relax your head down. And exhale. Good, last one. Lifting, gently hugging that knee in a little bit closer. Inhale, relax your head down. And exhale. Good, then from here we're going to straighten out both the legs, so wherever you are. Lengthen and open up. Maybe take a moment here just to drop the arms out to the sides, turning the palms to face up. Maybe a gentle wiggle in the toes and the fingers, just bringing awareness to the rest of your body and feeling the openness opposed to the reclining child's pose that we started in. Okay, good. Let's take a nice big full body stretch. So inhale, reach your arms up. Lengthen the spine. Maybe stretch a little bit into each side body. You can even open your mouth. Release the hinge of your jaw. Maybe a nice big yawn comes. And then exhale and relax. Bring your arms next to you again. You can just take up a bit of space here. Turn the palms to face up. Snuggle your shoulder blades in underneath you. Bend your knees and place your feet about mat width apart on the mat. And we're going to move into a bit of lumbar spine rotation here. So focusing on the lower half of the body and the hips, we're going to inhale, drop both your knees over to one side. Doesn't matter which side you go to first. And then as you exhale, imagine zipping up the lower belly, pushing the lower back in towards the mat, and bring your knees back up to center. Inhale to drop them over to the other side. Keep breathing towards the navel and exhale. Long exhalation to zip up the belly and float your knees back up. Good, we'll keep going at your own pace. So moving with the length of your breath. And just being mindful of not rushing through the breaths, not rushing through the movements. Make sure you exhale long and slow and completely before you move into your next inhalation and rotation. Okay, good. Let's do one more to each side, making sure that you even it out, that you've rotated to both sides equally. And then once you've completed your last movement, exhaling to come back to center. Good, and then we'll bring our knees back in towards us again. Again, maybe a little bit of movement here, playing around with the position of the knees, maybe even holding onto the knees and making some circles. Okay, and then back to center. Hug your knees in towards you. Hold onto each knee and open the knees out towards the shoulders. So we're just moving here into a happy baby. But if you feel that this is far enough, you're really feeling compression in the front of the hip flexor and a stretch in the hamstrings, the pose is already doing what it should be. If you do want to take it a bit further, you can lift the soles of the foot up to the sky, holding on either behind the knees, maybe the shins or the ankles. Maybe you can reach the insides or the outsides of your feet. Keeping the knees bent, we're going to draw the knees out towards the outer ribs or the outsides of the armpits. Stretching into the hamstrings, keep lifting the soles and the heels up to the sky. Again, maybe a little bit of movement here may feel good, rocking gently side to side. And think nice long spine, so drawing your shoulders away from your ears, a long line down the spine, tailbone reaching down towards the mat. Another deep breath in and exhale to bring your heels back down. Good. Bring your knees in together. And then we're going to roll over onto one side. Doesn't matter which side we come onto first. We're going to come onto the elbow. Stacking your knees and your ankles on top of each other. Your knees are bent. And then we're on the elbow here. Check that your elbow is more or less in line with your shoulder. And then make sure that you shift your weight out of the shoulder and into the hips so that the pelvis carries the weight and we're not sitting here and dumping the weight into the shoulder. So we're lifting up and out. Then inhale, reach your top arm up to the sky, and you can drop the arm open behind you so that we rotate here or into the upper body, into the upper spine. And then exhale, hugging down the ribs, thread the needle through. So reach with the fingertips past the armpit towards the back. And then inhale to open up. Gentle twist, maybe dropping the arm behind you again, not forcing, just allowing as far as the ribs and the shoulders go. And then exhale to rotate it through. Reach with the fingertips, gently hugging down the ribs and squeezing into the twist. Inhale, open up. And exhale. Good, let's go for 2 more. So inhale, feel that upper body rotation. And exhale. And the last one, inhale. And exhale. Keep pushing the mat away with your elbow. Good, and then release. Now we're just going to flip over onto the other side. So you can either roll onto your back and then over, or swivel around. Knees and ankles are stacked. Your knees are just comfortably bent. Elbow more or less in line with the shoulder, and then shift the weight into the hips. Inhale, open up. Notice what this side allows, so we're not forcing. And exhale, gently hugging into the twist, squeezing the ribs down. Reach with the fingertips towards the back. Good. Inhale, open up. And exhale to hug into the rotation. Good. Inhale for 3. And exhale. Keep shifting the weight from the shoulder to the hips. Inhale up. And exhale. Perfect. Last one. Inhale. And exhale. Good. And then you can release. And then from here we're going to come onto the hands and knees. So we're in tabletop. And then we'll move into a variation of cat stretch here. So we start by curling the toes under. Check that your knees are more or less in line with your hips, wrists in line with your shoulders. Spread your fingers. Maybe move the hands slightly forward if you feel that gives you a bit more space. Now as you inhale, we're going to drop the navel down. So spreading the sitting bones towards the back. Let the lower back sink through. Pull your shoulders away from your ears. Your gaze can go forward, and then push your hips back towards your heels. Good. Then to exhale, we'll come up, uncurl the toes, tucking your tailbone round your spine like we do with a normal cat stretch, pushing the mat away with the hands on the tops of the feet, and again pushing the hips back towards the heels, keeping the arms extended. Inhale to come up, curl your toes under, drop the navel, shoulders away from the ears, hips go back to the heels, and exhale to come back up, uncurl the toes, round, and again push back to the heels. And we'll find a bit of a rhythm here. So inhale, toes curl under, navel drops, we push back. And exhale to uncurl the toes, round, and again push buttocks to heels. Keep going at your own pace, using the length of your breath. And really just feeling into the movement, the arch, and rounding of the spine. Okay, good. Let's go for one more round. So wherever you are, either complete the round that you're on or do one more full round. We always end on an exhalation. So once you've completed your exhalation, we'll inhale to come back up to a neutral spine. Then bring your big toes to touch. Your knees are just comfortably wide. Push your buttocks back towards your heels and come into a child's pose. So option here to bring the index fingers and the thumbs together to create a diamond shape with the palms of your fingertips, and then place the palms of your hand flat on your mat and drop your forehead through. If you feel another version of child's pose would serve you better here, maybe stacking your fists to give your forehead some contact and space to rest, then that's a good option. Or maybe even wrapping your hands around towards your feet. We'll just take a few breaths here. Again, just focusing the breath all the way down towards the navel and finding that expansion towards the lower ribs and towards the lower back. Softening as the hips sink back.
Notice what it feels like to be back here in this sort of shape. We started in a reclining child's pose. Does this feel different? Does it feel similar? Okay, let's get ready to release. So on your next inhalation, start by lifting your head, and then we come back up into tabletop. Again, checking that your knees are in line with your hips, wrists in line with your shoulders. Now we're going to curl the right toes under, extend the right leg back. We'll keep the toes are in contact with the floor for now. Stretch your heel towards the back and feel the back of the leg opening. Pull your shoulders away from your ears, tuck in your chin. So think long line here from the heel all the way up to the crown of the head. And then you've got the option here to lift the heel up. So more or less in line with the glute. It doesn't have to lift any higher than that. And that will ask a bit more from the supporting hip on the left side. Balance on your right hand. Reach with your left fingertips forward. Keep the chin tucked, so think straight line, fingertip to heel, and exhale to bring the hand down. Good, keeping the leg lifted, or the option to bring the toes down onto the floor if it feels like a lot for today. We'll keep lifting the hand, so inhale, reach the left hand forward, and exhale, bring the hand back down. Inhale to reach, and exhale. Inhale for 2, and exhale. Last one, inhale. And exhale. Good work. Bring the back toes down if they are still lifted, and then knee in line with your hip, and then we'll swap sides. So left toes curled under. Stretch the leg back. So first keep the contact with the toes on the floor. Pull your shoulders away from your ears. Stretch the heel towards the back. Feel the back of the knee opening, lengthening from the heel to the top of the leg. And then the option here to lift the leg up, more or less in line with the glute. Doesn't have to go too high. Doing what this side allows. Feel into the shape first, then balance on the left hand, reach the right fingertips forward, tuck in the chin, so long spine, long lines, inhale, and exhale, keep the leg lifted, and bring only the hand back down to the starting position. Inhale to reach, and exhale down, inhale 3, and exhale, inhale 2, and exhale, inhale, last one, and exhale. Good work. Bring the back toes down, bring the knee back down. Now from here, knees still in line with the hips. Come down onto your elbows, clasp your hands together, bring the crown of the head in contact with the mat. So dropping the head down, we keep pushing the floor away with the lower arms and with the elbows. And notice what this feels like. Notice what it feels like to be upside down. You can release pressure in the crown of the head by pushing into the elbows, but if at any stage you feel that there's a lot of pressure in your head and it's very uncomfortable, you are welcome to push back into any version of child's pose that would serve you better here. Otherwise, we see if we can stay here a little bit longer in this, what we call prostration pose. This is an inversion. So we get the feeling of being upside down, and the pressure on the crown of the head can be centering and calming. Take nice steady breaths in and out through your nose. We're here for a last 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Awesome work. We'll release by pushing our hips back towards your heels. Stack one fist on top of the other and just rest your forehead on your stacked fists, allowing the blood flow to equalize. Draw steady breaths. Okay, and then when you feel steady and ready, you can come to a seated position. So we'll sit up, take a seat, any easy seat here. Bring your hands to your heart center, press the palms of the hands firmly together, plug your thumbs into your sternum, drop your nose to your fingertips as we stretch into the back of the neck. Relax your shoulders,
Good, then we're going to look all the way up to the sky, drop your head back gently, and then here at the top, open and close your mouth. So we stretch into the front of the throat. Okay, good. On your next exhalation, drop nose to fingertips. Okay, and we're going to again lift our head up and then gently drop your head back and then open and close your mouth. Good, and then let's come back to center. Deep breath in. Exhale, nose to fingertips. Okay, good. Then from here, we're going to swivel our head, turning our nose towards our right armpit, and then we'll continue with this half circle, looking all the way over to the right, over the right shoulder as far as the neck allows. And then drop your nose to your right armpit again, move through center. So very gently and mindfully, rotating so the nose goes towards the left armpit, and then look up, completing the half circle, looking towards the left. Relax your shoulders. Good. Turning the head down again, past the armpit, through to center. One more to each side. Roll nose to armpit, and then look all the way over to the right. And then look down. Gently moving through center here, nose to fingertips first, then over to the left, and look up and over the left shoulder. Good, we'll come back to center, completing the movement, moving slowly, and then inhale, back to center. Another deep breath in, side out through the mouth. Let go, good. Release your hands with your legs straight out in front. Then bring the feet a little bit wider, drop the toes out to the sides, bring the soles of the feet to touch. You can decide how tightly you want to tuck the heels in, so holding on wherever you can most comfortably reach. Start leaning forward with your heart space. Lengthen the spine as you inhale, and then exhale to round forward and through, dropping your head down towards your feet. Even if it's just the idea or this is the direction I'm going into, you can release your hands. You don't need to pull yourself any further into the stretch. That's then what's necessary today, turning the palms to face up in a gesture of surrender, and just let gravity do the work here. If you do feel that one hip's not happy, you are welcome to straighten out that leg and just come into a half butterfly version of the pose. So really just listening to what it is that your body is telling you today. And checking in with that steady breath in and out through the nose. It's not forced. It's a steady flow, allowing it to be, but being aware of it. So bringing conscious attention to the breath. We'll stay here a little bit longer. Okay, let's get ready to release. So on your next inhalation, you can start by lifting your head, and then you can very gently come back up to a neutral spine. Bring the hands to the outside of the knees, bring the knees in together, straighten one leg and then the other. Okay, good. Give the legs a bit of a shake and a wiggle, maybe some windscreen wipers or some rotations, whatever you feel that you need to release that stretch. Okay, and then to finish off our class today, we are going to do alternate nostril breathing. So alternate nostril breathing, you can practice with or without the mudras. So I'll give you the options and you can decide what feels right for you. Again, we are going to be seated for a little while, so if you do need to sit up on a block or a cushion or make yourself a little bit more comfortable, even sitting in a chair, those are all good options. So we'll start by taking up a mudra with the left hand. So you can either bring the index finger and the thumb in contact. This is Gyana Mudra. Or if it feels more comfortable, to tuck the index finger in underneath the thumb and then rest the back of the hand onto the knee. Then Nasagra Mudra with the right hand. You'll take up the index finger and the middle finger and place that on your eyebrow center. Thumb is over the right nostril and your ring finger is over the left nostril. If you don't want to use the mudra today, that's absolutely fine. You can just let the hands rest on your knees and then just practice mental alternate nostril breathing, especially if you do feel a little bit congested. It might not be comfortable today. Okay, so taking up the mudra, if you are using the mudra, and then we're going to inhale in through both nostrils. Close your right nostril and exhale out through the left. Keeping the right closed, inhale in through the left nostril. Imagine drawing the breath all the way up to the eyebrow center. Then we'll swap, closing the left, release the right, and exhale out through the right. Inhale in through the right nostril. Close the right, release the left, and exhale out through the left. Inhale in through the left again. And then we'll swap. So closing the left, release the right, and exhale. In through the right again. And then swap to exhale out through the left. And you'll keep going like this in your own rhythm, alternating the breath from one nostril to the other. So as you sit here, get used to the rhythm of the breath. Notice how this forces you to slow down the breath, being more conscious of the in and the out of the breath. Notice how the breath becomes audible, and as a result it's easier to focus on the breath. You might also notice that one nostril feels more open than the other. That is completely normal. Our nostrils alternate during the course of the day. So there's no need to want to change that. We are simply aware of the current experience. And as you settle more and more into the breath, swapping one side to the other, see if you can relax into the shape, into your seat, not holding or tensing anywhere. And just finding a degree of comfort and calm. We'll stay here and keep breathing a little while longer. Okay, we are going to start to finish up. So we always end on an exhalation through the left nostril. So keep going until the next time that you exhale out through the left. And then once you've completed your exhalation, you can let go of the Nasagra Mudra. You can also let go of the left hand mudra. If you are still holding the mudra, just relaxing your hands on your knees. Make sure that you loop your shoulders down and away from your ears. There's length in the spine, tailbone all the way up to the crown of the head. Notice what it feels like to breathe through both nostrils evenly now. If you feel that you need to reset the breath, you're welcome to take a deep breath in and then a long exhalation through the mouth or the nose. Just breathing easily and quietly here, in and out through your nose. We'll take a few more moments. Okay, let's bring the palms of our hands together, and then we're going to rub our hands together. Apply a nice firm pressure so that you can feel some heat generating between the palms of your hands. Keep rubbing, creating that friction. And then once the palms of your hand feel really, really nice and warm, you can place your hands over your eyes. Let that heat seep into your eyes and into your face. Then open your eyes behind your hands. Separate your fingers to let in some light, and then you can drop your hands and come back into the space. Palms together, you can drop your nose to your fingertips as we bow in gratitude for our practice and for our bodies. Thank you for sharing your energy with me today. Namaste.